You want to talk about purpose? My next guest found himself before his eyes closed, lying in a pool of his own blood with a knife in his gut at the BW3s in the flats in Cleveland. When his eyes closed, he knew he was over. He woke up, he fought through it, and he hasn't stopped fighting ever since. He shows up every day for his employees. He shows up for his business. He gets things done. He's successful in the worst of times. These are the worst of times. We're going to talk to Khash Saghafi next. Now, the heat is on. Let's get cooking. This is Purpose Under Pressure, Season 8 of Purpose Under Pressure. It's a podcast like it's always been. It's just about people. People like you, people like me, people who are trying to get something done in the business world. We get up in the morning, we swing our feet out of bed, we put them on the floor, and we go to get it. And something decides to come up. I don't care what it is. This morning, it was the fact that we left the refrigerator open all night long, and everything was melting and seeping out over the kitchen, and I didn't have time to deal with that. But what shortcuts are you going to take because the pressure rises? None. That's Purpose Under Pressure, and that's what this show is all about. If you do like this show, please do like it and follow it and subscribe it and tell a friend about it. And that's how we let people know that this show is worth listening to. If you're a business owner that's trying to overcome some of those pressures, I think it is. Purpose Under Pressure is brought to you by Sandler by the Ruby Group. They serve sales professionals nationwide from their Akron and Columbus, Ohio locations. They're also in Jacksonville, Florida. They are also now in upstate Capital Region, New York. So if you are there, then look for them as well there. It's sales training, yes. It's business growth. It's revenue development, yes. But it's on purpose. It's about people. It's about doing things right. It is not about cliches and gimmicks and tactics. It's about treating people right, helping them to solve problems that maybe they didn't even know they had. That's sales, folks. It's not a bad word. That's sales, and it's awesome, especially when you do it the right way. Sandler by the Ruby Group helps you to do it. And if you will check them out online, I'd appreciate it. You'll find them at rubygroup.sandler.com. So 5 years ago-ish, I started this podcast with my former employer, Spire Marketing. It was called A Dash of Grit. And one of the reasons I did it was to help other businesses. It was during COVID. And we wanted other businesses to know who we were so that they might know someone who might want to do business with us. As in the middle of COVID, you couldn't knock on a door. You couldn't shake a hand. And that's why we started the podcast. That might be a secret no one ever knew, but that's why we did it. One of my first guests was a referral to me from my friend at Ruby Group, Ruby by the Sandler, Ruby Group, Sandler, Mike Jones. He introduced me to Khash Saghafi. Khash Saghafi is back. He was on the show back in 2022. He's the owner of Liberty Home Mortgage in Cleveland, Ohio. He talked about the most amazing grit that he had to have to overcome a lot of happenings in his life. We're going to talk about that again today on Purpose Under Pressure, but we're going to talk about it 5 years later. Khash Saghafi, welcome to Purpose Under Pressure. I'm so glad to see you, man.
Well, I appreciate it, Brian. As usual, I appreciate it back then. I appreciate it now. It's awesome to see you're doing great, and the Ruby Group's amazing. Sandler, we use them. I mean, they're amazing.
That's cool. I didn't know that.
Right now, we put a pause on it for right now, just while we're in this downturn.
Yeah.
But we're actually going back to them. We will be going back to them 1,000%. We used them for years. I love them.
Tremendous. I miss them. I don't sell anymore. Everything kind of, the way I'm working and the way things work, I don't sell anymore. And so I don't do it anymore with Sandler. But man, those doing sales right is freaking awesome. Yeah.
Their sales tactics, techniques, the schematics they draw.
It's just real.
I mean, it's the way you pivot. It's amazing. It's very impressive. They do a great job. I have much respect for them.
And we're going to talk a lot about that. Before we do a couple things, I want to explain. I don't normally wear T-shirts on this show, but Khash, you were awesome the first time we met, and you had like a Black Sabbath or ACDC or Guns N' Roses.
Yeah, Ozzy,
maybe it was it might have been Guns N' Roses. I'm not sure. I was like, who is this guy?
I'm a child of the 80s. I was born in 1973, but I'm a diehard 80s music freak. I play the guitar or whatever. So I just love 80s music, man. So I mean, this shirt today is one of my wrestlers. But
Well, I want to talk about that. I want to tell you about mine here real quick, and then so I thought you'd be in this heavy metal type garb, and I wanted to come dressed too. I was up at Kane Park in Cuyahoga Heights, Cleveland Heights, to see Dispatch recently. So I was like, I'm going to show Khash my new rock and roll shirt. Tell me about your shirt, because I think there's some purpose under pressure involved there.
So this is Seacrest Train. So I help coach wrestling at a local high school here in Cleveland, Brecksville High School. And so I say my kids, I don't have children myself, but the kids I coach, I call them my kids. Well, one of my kids, Rylan Seacrest, he just won a Fargo national title in the sport of wrestling. The highest level of high school wrestling you can attain is to win Fargo. So in Fargo, North Dakota, there's a national tournament there every summer. It just concluded last week, where the best of the best converge. The brackets are, I think he had well over 125 people in his bracket. I mean, it is the best of the best. Yeah. You win that tournament, it's a full scholarship to damn near any school in this country.
Wow.
Well, Rylan won the tournament. He won it, and he epitomizes purpose under pressure. I mean, he has sustained, I think he's ranked second or third in the country now. He sustained torn Achilles in his other ankle, if you could believe that one. Tore one, came back from that, tore the other. Came back from that, tore his ACL. And he kept questioning if he should just keep trying to push through this. And is he just injury prone? A lot of my friends in college, I wrestled in college. So a lot of my friends are college coaches now. They would say to me, is he just injury prone? I mean, maybe he's just injury prone. Do we recruit somebody who's going to get hurt? And I said, he's not injury prone. These are one-time major events that happened.
Yeah.
And I just kept telling Ron, this is the last 9, 10, 11, the last 3 years. I keep telling Ron, I'm like, trust me, trust the process.
Got to go
Our
through
goal
the pressure.
doesn't change. Our goal is to be number one in the country. Now, mind you, coming into high school, the kid was top 10 in the country. So it's not like he went from nothing to where he is. He's always been one of the top kids. But he gets injured, and then he's got to sit out the whole season, and then sit out the whole season again, and just it's all happening. And I kept telling him, like in the book Jim Collins wrote, Good to Great, you've got to put the right people in the right seats on the bus. And when the bus has to change course or take a different direction or take a different turn, the goal doesn't change. The right people will stay in the seat. So I keep telling him, just trust the process. Our goal doesn't change. Just the task to get there, we have to make some adjustments with rehab and stuff like that. We have to be a little more patient. Well, he stayed the course, and sure as hell, last week he won Fargo. And I mean, he dominated.
Awesome.
He dominated. And I mean, he comes every morning. He comes over. We work out in my house. We have a sauna workout. We hand fight. We do things. Right now we're doing this. It's July. It's summertime. He's an 11th grader in high school. He's about to go into 12th grade. In high school right now, every high school kid in this country is sleeping until 8 in the morning. Yeah. That kid is at my house at 5:28 every morning. We get into the sauna at 5:30, hand fighting, moving, whatever the exercise is. We have the sauna at 208 degrees, and we're in that thing for 45 minutes every day, 7 days a week. Now, for me, I get to my building. I'm 52 years old. I'm not kidding you. There's a lot of times, Brian, where I'm like, son of a bitch. Like
I know.
I can't do this, man. I just can't do this,
Been there.
But I got Ryan coming in, and I'm like, we got to get this dude to number one, and we got to get him. He's going to Arizona State on a full ride, so he's got a full scholarship already at Arizona State. But I mean, with NIL and money like that, I mean, it's just crazy what happens. But every day. So right now in July, he's in 11th grade in high school. The kid's coming at 5:30 in the morning to hit a 205-degree sauna workout. And then he cold tubs after that, and I go whatever and get ready. And I mean, every day, 7 days a week, kids in high school.
See, and he could have quit at any time. That's what this show is all about. You nailed it. That's exactly what this show is all about. And then no one would have questioned him quitting. He tore one. He tore the other. He blew out the knee. He wanted something that most of us can't even believe is possible anyway, right? We're like, yeah, whatever, go, whatever. I'll support you. Here's a burger, right? We don't really think they're going to accomplish it. Like, there's no reason he couldn't quit. But he didn't. He had purpose, and he wasn't going to give in under the pressure. That's what this is all about.
I mean, like I've said my story to an extent. Like you heard on the last podcast we did. I've almost gone bankrupt twice doing the job I do, and so many times I questioned myself and said, "Why do I just keep doing this?" Ryan would say the same things to me, and the only thing I kept telling him was just trust me. We're going to go day by day, action by action. Yep. This is all I care about. We're not going to worry about 2 years from now.
And so that's what you're all about too. And I love that you're in his corner, and I love that you're showing him that, and he's going to show somebody that someday too. But let's talk about you, Hesh. I want to know what's great in your life. I know you've overcome some pressure, and I know you've done it on purpose. I want to talk about that, but then I want to get into the pressure of now too. So let's brag a little bit. What's great with you, man?
The best thing I've got going, I think we're a mortgage lender. We lend in 45 states. And if the state of New York ever to get licensed in a state, it takes 60 days max. Everything goes wrong. It's 60 days max.
Yeah.
We applied in the state of New York 2.5 years ago. We're still waiting on them. And we had to hire different law firms. You have to hire law firms to get in New York. We're in 45 states. My mortgage company at its peak, when the industry was at peak, we were one of the top 10% government lenders in the country. We've skinnied down. The whole industry is skinny down. The best part right now is we're in the best position at a really bad time in the industry. We've been getting killed the last 3 years. Everybody has. But what I love about right now is We are cocked and loaded. I remember my team I wrestled on at Oklahoma State University. We were suspended by the NCAA tournament. And then coming out of that, we were ranked number 1 in the country. And the truth of the matter is our poster for that year, it said rebuilding with a big X through it. It said reloaded. Yeah. And then it showed our top 2 wrestlers, Pat Smith and Alan Freed. It showed them. It showed the team picture. It said we're back. It showed them. They were coming back for reigning national champs. It said they're back. And then it showed the NCAA trophy and it said coming back. And going into that year of 93, 94 in college, my whole team was like, we're taking that, like that's ours. And we're bringing that. The NCAA suspended us from wrestling in the nationals the year before. And we were like, there is nothing that we're coming to take that. I don't know if I'm allowed to curse on your show. I just curse naturally, but I won't curse.
The world's changing. Like, if I was 10 years ago, I'd say no, but now I don't care. Everybody does it.
It's every third word doing this. But I'm not kidding you. My freshman year in college, we took second, but they suspended the individuals. The second year I was in college, they suspended the team. And when they suspended half of our team as a freshman, we took second. The second year, they nailed our team. Going into the third year, I'm not kidding you. We were like, fuck you. We're taking that thing. You will have to kill us to not take that fucker home. And we won the national title. Yeah. And that's how I feel with my company right now, that I'm like, man, I had 300 employees 3 years ago. When you and I did the last podcast, at my peak, I had 293 employees. Right now, I've got like 100 people. Yeah. We're down 70% in employee count. We're down 70% in production. The expenses to pull a credit report 3 years ago was $17. Today, it's $87. The expenses have gone up. The investors in the secondary market, they don't want to buy my mortgages that I'm giving at 7-8% interest rates. So we're not being paid as much on the loans. Our costs are up. Our income and revenue is down. Our employee count is down. And I'm telling you right now, we are positioned to like explode. And I'm ready, man. I just told my VP the other day, I said, I feel like I did coming into 93. Coming into 93, I was like, we're fucking winning it. Like we're fucking, my friends would be like, Hesh, but Penn State's ranked second and I was third behind them. And I was like, you put them together. Let them all come at us at once. I got my teams, my guys, Alan Freed, Pat Smith, we got them. I was like, we're fucking taking it. We're not winning it. We're taking it. It's ours.
Taking it. And so what motivates you more? So you've got your purpose and your purpose doesn't change. And you can talk about that a little bit, but does winning motivate you to win more? Or does this space that you're in right now, this losing, if you will, does that motivate you to win more? Where do you get your drive?
I love you asking. That's a great question. I'll give you my drive. My drive is easy. I was almost murdered. And I say almost because clearly I'm alive.
I remember the story.
June 19th,
tell it. Most people don't know that. Yep.
So June 19th, 1997, I was 24 years old. I just turned 24 years old. My dad always told me, if you keep going out in downtown Cleveland, I'm born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio. Mm-hmm. When I got home from college, I was going out all the time. I was never disrespectful or insubordinate to my parents. I was just a 23-year-old kid that thought he knew everything and you were going to tell me anything. And my dad would always say, like, I'd be going out at night with my friends. And he was always like, you're going downtown, like you're going to get killed down there. He would literally say, you will get killed down there if you keep going. And I was like, Dad, like I'm with my guys, like I'm a wrestler. Like I didn't say I'm a wrestler, I'm a tough guy, but I was like, ain't nobody screwing with us.
We're invincible when we're young.
We're invincible. Yep. So as it goes down, I was walking back to my car and 5 people, it was a total random act of violence. That's what I've summarized it to. People say, well, why did it happen? 5 people came running up to me and my buddy. One person standing behind another reached around them and shoved a knife dead center in my chest right there. There's the indentation of the knife in my chest.
You still feel it? Yep.
Oh, a chunk of my body's gone, a small part at least. I had 34. I almost bled to death. I had emergency surgery. I was bleeding to death. Severed the superior epigastric artery. Cut my liver. They had 34 staples in me. I lost over 50 pounds. I mean, I'm skinny. Like I'm not a big person.
Yeah.
If I lost over 50 pounds. So I lived. That person, by the way, was given 5 years in prison. They didn't get him for attempted murder because the prosecutor said, Hesh, he didn't stab you twice. He only stabbed you once. If he hit you twice, then it would go attempted murder. But he's gonna plead self-defense, whatever.
Right. Yeah, whatever.
So they gave him second-degree felonious assault with a deadly weapon, 5 years in prison, whatever. So the truth of the matter is, I will never forget. I could go back to that moment in my head right this second. I will never forget going through my head when I was laying on the dirty floor of BW3 as this bar that sells wings and stuff like that. I was laying on the floor covered in my own blood. I will never forget thinking, like, I had all these dreams. Like, I still wanted to wrestle and try out for a world team, an Olympic team. And I wanted to, like, be a like all these things. And like, I really thought in my head, like, it's all gone. Like, this is it. Like, this is where the book closes. Like, this is it. Like, I didn't have an epiphany. I didn't talk to God or see some flashing light like Nikki Sixx of Motley Crue when he did the heroin overdose. I told you, I love music. So, I mean, I didn't have one of those, but I was very cognizant of what was happening.
You were present enough to know that this was the end.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. God. Oh,
and you remember what that felt to be at the end.
Oh, so that's why ever since, like, the greatest experience in life I've ever had was almost being murdered. Wow. And honestly, that scumbag who I haven't seen, I don't know who the person is, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I know the name and stuff like that. But I mean, that was the best thing that ever happened to me. It really is, because every morning I wake up, like I've only gone to church for weddings and funerals. I've never read the Bible. I read books like crazy now, but I've never read the Bible. Every morning I wake up, I just say, thank you, God. Like I'm alive. There was another person that summer in the flats of Cleveland, in the downtown area, who was stabbed and murdered, completely separate incident, completely separate from mine, different days, different times, whatever. That guy died. I look at myself like I almost bled to death, but I lived. Like, maybe he almost lived and I'm the one that's dead. We're not doing this thing here. Yeah. So like, I'm smart enough to know that, like, I got really lucky, really, really lucky. And every morning I wake up, I'm just like, I'm not kidding you, Bryan. Like, you could throw freaking a ton of bricks on top of me right now. I'd be like, if I'm living, like, piss on. Like, I just love every morning I wake up, I have an opportunity to do something. And like, my one friend, Bubba, the one time, I mean, God rest Bubba's soul, Bubba calls me, he's piss and blood. He's like, Khash, what do I do? And I was like, dude, you got to go to the hospital. He goes to the hospital, calls me, Khash, I got stage 4 liver cancer. Completely random.
Out of the blue.
He lived for 3 more years, passed away in 22. God rest his soul. He wrestled in Iowa, by the way, which is Oklahoma State's biggest rival. Yeah, I love Bubba. Actually, he was a Garth Brooks fan, and I made him wear an Oklahoma State wrestling t-shirt to Garth Brooks concert.
Oh, good.
But Bubba passed away. So I always tell people, I'm like, if I'm doing bad financially in business, like the last 3 years, my whole industry has been killed. We're not, like I told you, 70% employee, all this stuff like that. It's not as bad as being diagnosed with cancer. It's not as bad as laying on the ground at BW3 covered in blood thinking this is the end of the road. I mean, we've been getting beat up the last 3 years. I got a lot of employees leaving. We got a lot of this and that going. Dude, it ain't that bad. Like, I mean, it sucks, but it ain't that bad. So that experience, my brain in a quarter of a second can turn a negative thought into a positive. And honestly, I don't know, man. I just love that I woke up this morning. I got a shot at freaking doing great things.
What's it like working with you? I know one of the hard things in any industry is getting enough employees and having people buy into the culture and so I know you put a lot into culture and getting the right people, but working for you has got to be either heaven or hell. I don't know which.
I got to be completely honest. It's probably a combination of both. Because at the same time,
because not everybody sees life like you. Not everybody was lying in their own blood at BW3.
No,
like they don't have your picture. I'm
very averse to negativity. So I right now I probably have 110. I think we actually have 125 employees right now. It's 100, 120, somewhere in that number there, right? Well, naturally, I don't interact with every single employee at all. I just don't. I truly, what I learned in business was this. I will never forget this. One of my best friends, he's a police officer in Brecksville, a city here on the south side. I'll never forget this. When I started my first company in 2002, I hired 3 people, Tracy, Christina, and Kelly. I hired them, and I'm managing them. And then I'm like, hey, I'm going to hire more people. And then I'll never forget this. My buddy Pat says, you need a manager. Like, you need a manager to manage all these people. I was like, I don't need a manager. It's like me and them. Like, they know. I've known Christina since she was born. Like, and Tracy and Kelly, I've known Tracy since junior high, and Kelly, we work together and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, no. You need a manager. You cannot interact on that level. And I was like, I can handle all this thing. What I learned through business is, this is my worldly advice to any business out there. If you're starting a business, the first person you hire is your manager. And even though as a business owner, you think, Khash, but I don't have that. This is what I used to think. I don't have the money to pay them as a manager. You don't have to. Give them the title of manager. The next person in the door, the second person you hire, they go to that person. And then you work through that one person. That person has to deal with the 100 people, and you filter through. Yeah. Since I switched my business model 11 years ago to that, I've experienced much more success, much less stress, and I can interact with people better. Back 20 years ago, when people would come to me to ask how to unclog the toilet, and you could ask that 18 different times, you're going to lose your mind. So, I mean, one thing is I don't interact with every single person there is at all. I interact with my top people, sort of. But I do think it's probably heaven and hell, because the truth of the matter, Bryan, is I'm convinced I'm going to be a billionaire someday, and this is going to be the biggest damn company in the country. And the truth of the matter is, it's just time. Now, I might die in between or something, but I can't help when I go out the door. Yeah. But until the day I die, I'm going to win this damn thing. Like, it's just that simple. It's not even like I'm competing. You asked, your question is what motivates you?
Yeah, yeah.
What motivates me is waking up every day. And I know a lot of people say that, but I lived it. I thought I was dead. My last thought in my brain, by the way, before I went out, my dad was a surgeon, and God rest his soul, I love my dad. Anything that has feelings about it was my mom. I got my feelings from my mom. I got my work ethic from my dad. My dad was, you could hit him with a bus and the dude was still going into work that day. Yep. Right. And we didn't conversate and talk, and I didn't share my day with my dad. My mom would come home and say, "How was your day, honey?" Yeah. My dad would come home and say, "Did you do everything I told you to do today?"
That's right.
It just wasn't. So like, everybody says that, like I'm just thankful to be alive. But my last thought in my brain, actually, before I passed out, because I passed out from the amount of blood I lost, it was not even dad could help me. And not even dad could save me. And my dad was a surgeon. And through all the stupid stuff I've been through in my life, I was in a really bad car accident in 94 and stuff like that. And my dad always saved me. He was always, he's still my hero. And like, he's a surgeon and a doctor, and you think he walks on water. So anytime I ran into something really bad, I was like, Dad will take care of this. I'll get yelled at. He's going to scream at me for this, and Mom's going to slap me around. My dad never hit me. My mom used to beat the hell out of me. My mom was 4'11", 90 pounds. By the time I was like in 6th grade, by that point, I just went for my beating. I was like, I'm going to get my ass kicked. I get it.
Do your best, Mom. I got things to do.
Yeah, she just slapped the piss out of me, and I was just, I took it. It's my mom. You can't talk back to your mom. Yeah, that's right. But I was just, in my head, I was thinking, Mom, I weigh 100 pounds now, and I wrestle my whole life at this point. I'm like, this don't do nothing to me, because my oldest brother taught me to use my head to stop everything. So I got a hard head after wrestling for so long. When my mom was slapping it was like she's hitting a brick. It's like this.
Yeah.
So the thing is everything. I know people say it, but my last thought was not even dad could save me. And when I thought that thought, that's when it was officially like, dad ain't getting me out of this one. And that was the last thought in my brain. So the truth is, every morning I wake up, I just love being like, I'm just like I'm here. Like my buddy Johnny Martin, we wrestled in college together. God rest his soul. Johnny passed December 3rd, 1999 of cancer. I didn't go to the funeral because I didn't want to see him like that. Like, I remember him, we wrestled together. We were teammates, man. We went at it. I didn't want to see him like that. Like, I know, like, in my mind, he's like, he got cancer in his spine, and for 3 years he was then on leg braces and then in a wheelchair, and he lost all this weight. And like, I would talk to him all the time. Johnny's been gone since December 3rd of 99. I'm here. Yeah. So that, like, I'm here. I'm here right now. So that's what motivates me. It took me 10 minutes to answer your question, but.
Well, because it's important. And you know what's cool is that entire time you talked about that. I'm going to get to a point here. You didn't talk about the mortgage industry once. And we were talking about employees, and you talked about life. Now, your employees you also said before the show that you show up on Saturdays and stuff, and you sit right next to them, and you're leading by example. They're either going to catch it off you, they're going to smell it on you. They've seen your success, or they're not. And there's not everything you can do about it. They're not you. They're not little mini Heshes, right? But you're going to do your best to help them lead. Your motivation takes a long time to explain because it's life. And I just think that's a unique and different perspective than most people can get. I'm interested in this question, especially in a tough industry. You've seen the highs. You've been all the way to the top. You're now seeing the lows. Do you beat yourself up every day to get back to the highs, or do you just really live this whole thing as, hey, I'm going to show up and do my best, and whatever happens, happens because of that is because at some point you got to, pedal to the metal and get this done. But the market isn't going to change no matter how hard you work. Like, how do you manage that and help your employees who come in every day? They're not as successful as you yet, and they're getting beat up too. Like, how do you keep things positive and work hard and keep the crap beat out of you every day?
Looking at the typical salesperson, everything they do day in and day out, if we simplify all of that and really boil it down, they have two superpowers. First superpower that salespeople have is how they behave. Second superpower they have is what they say. As a seller, we only have two problems. We either said something or did something that we should not have said or done, or we didn't say something or do something that we should have said or done.
Like, how do you keep things positive and work hard and keep the crap beat out of you every day?
That's a great question. I love the question. Here's my formula. Like what I tell people, it's what I told Rylan. It's the same thing I told him is you go action by action, day to day. When I've gone, I mean, I did a post on LinkedIn the other day. It's like October of 2008, right around that time.
Mm-hmm.
My credit cards are almost maxed out. They were officially maxed out in March of 2009. I had $600,000 on my credit cards, all from business. Whatever.
You weren't the only one in 2008 in that situation. Yeah.
Just getting crushed, right?
Yeah.
So I'll never forget this one. I can tell you where I was sitting in my office. It was 8180 Compass South Professional Center, Brecksville Road. Like that's how my brain is. I'm sitting at my desk at 8 o'clock in the morning. My business banker, Jerry Benko, calls me. He's at Fifth Third Bank. He calls me and says, Hesh, there's a check that's trying to clear right now. It's like $7,000 and your bank account is like negative $1,000. I was in such a miserable low point. I stopped balancing the checkbook because it was so miserable.
Couldn't even look at it. Yeah.
I couldn't even look at it. It would crush me. So I would do this mental math of where it was. I thought the damn thing was like plus $2,000 or $4,000. I had $10,000 in checks to deposit that morning. So I was like, okay, it's at 4. I've got 10 grand. That's 14. Okay, I've got a couple loans closing in 2 weeks. So in 2 weeks, I got more money coming. Okay. And then Jerry calls me. And I'm like, Jerry, I was like, it can't be minus 1,000. This is impossible. And then a check for 7,000. What the hell is it? So he walks through it. And in my brain, he's like, hey, should I let it pass? I got to know now. And I knew in my brain, I had 10 grand to deposit. So I was like, Jerry, you got to let it pass. You can't bounce the check. You can't bounce the check. So it's like, done. I hang up the phone. In my brain, I was so like discombobulated emotionally. I was like, -1, the check is for 7. That's -8. I got to run to the bank at 9 a.m., deposit 10 grand. That means after I put 10,000 in, I'm only going to have 2,000 left. And I don't have another check coming for 2 freaking weeks. And I got 2 employees. I got to do payroll. And like, I was like so at the bottom. What I did at that time, which I learned from an earlier experience, was action by action, day to day. I did not say to myself,
do the work.
Oh my God, my retirement, where am I going to be in 20 years? I didn't give a shit where I was going to be in a week and a half. I was like, what do I got to do today? And all my brain did, Bryan, which is something that I've worked on mentally, but I've done it. Wrestling taught me a lot of this stuff. And my parents and my school teachers is I just went action by action. Okay, what do I have to do next? I have to call 5 realtors, real estate agents. Done. Make the dials. Go. What do I got to do next? I got to pick up this paper here. And Bryan, I'm telling you, at the end of every day, man, you go wrestle at Oklahoma State and train with John Smith, Alan Freed, Pat Smith, be coached by Mark Perry and Kenny Monday and all these other people out there. Dude, it's a battle. Like I would walk into the room and I could wrestle with, there were 10 national champions any day, every day that I could pick that I wanted to work out with. There was 3 Olympic gold medalists on any day I could pick them. So I had 10 national champions and 3 Olympic gold medalists on any day I could walk in and say, I'm going with you today. And that's what we would do. That was like, I felt like I was getting beat with a baseball bat. Like that was intense. You go with Allen, like national champ, Olympic gold medalist, national champ, Olympic gold medalist. That was tough. Like that's how I felt at the end of every day. At the end of every day, I got home and I was so mentally exhausted. I was like, but I crawled. I fought for every single inch back at that time, man. And I fucking fought. And it was just clawing, inch by inch. I didn't care about, but in a month, we're not going to, I don't care. My brain's on today. So anytime I've struggled in my life, my back's been against the wall, I narrow my focus, go action by action, day to day. So the last 3 years, we've been getting killed as an industry and as a company. I told you, I said I lost 70% of my people and stuff like that. At the end of the day, it's inch by inch, action by action. That's all I care about. All I cared about was this interview today. Coming in now, I'm this, and then when this is done, it's on to the next execution, and this is what I do.
And when you teach your people to do the same thing, and they do those steps, that's something Sandler by the Ruby Group, right? They talk about doing the behaviors. Just don't worry about the outcome. do the behaviors, do your job, and then go home and then do it again tomorrow. And when it comes, it'll come.
1,000%.
And that's really it. I've got a story to share with everybody. So make sure you stick to the end of this, because I want to share a story of how Hesh doesn't know the story I'm going to tell. I don't even know if you know the story about how he doesn't quit no matter what. And there's a story I have learned that I'm going to share with you in a second. I've got a couple more questions. I'm so sad we're running out of time, but I want to ask this. You share a lot about failure and about tough times and getting your ass handed to you. And there's things right now. You look on social media, everything's rainbows and unicorns, and I'm the best and we're the best and everything's great and we're all rich. Don't you worry that when this airs, that folks who are thinking about making this step, well, I can't go to Hesh, he's struggling, he's not doing as well as I mean, you're okay sharing these stories of fight. I think it's good, but why do you do it?
It's the truth.
Is it the truth?
That's the easiest damn answer.
Stupid question,
honestly,
right?
It's the truth. Like it's that's it. I just had somebody tell me last week, who was it? It was I was talking to a gentleman who might come on board with us, and he said to me that he said, Hesh, describe what type of experience will I have when I start with your company. He's
you told him he's going to
I told him, I said, let me tell you this one. You're going to get frustrated. You're going to have disagreements. You're going to get pissed off. You're going to think the debt ratio is this. My underwriter is going to say that. We're going to decline loans that you think should get approved. You are going to get frustrated. It's going to happen. And then my finishing line was, I said, it's not paradise here. It is not paradise. But I'll tell you what, in this industry, my company is as damn close as you can get to it. So as a salesman in this industry, you want to find the best company that's going to be the best experience, least stress, help you with your clients. This is the only damn place to be. And he said, Hesh, every other company I've talked to, he just talked to a company that's in the top 25 in the country. The owner of that company, they got like 4,000 people. He said, Hesh, that guy just went on for an hour about how great they are. He goes, you're the only person to actually say there are problems. So I tell everybody that anybody who tells you it's perfect, they're so full of it, like whatever. So
don't even bother even listening to it. I'm glad you talked that way. And that's why it's why I couldn't wait to have you back on, because I was like, Hesh is going to tell the truth and we're going to figure this out together. And I'm interested now. You're looking around the corner. You're just going to show up and do your thing. But you got to have a plan. You got to know what's next. You got to know what's on the horizon. And I know you got big goals. That billionaire number is coming. You got to hit it. And you're 52. Come on, man. Let's roll, right? We got to get that done.
I get
so
it.
What's the hurdle? What's the pressure in the market, other than the fact that it's got to switch, it's got to get back, and it's got to get back in the market and things? But what do you see is going to try to hold you back? What's the pressure that's moving forward that's going to be really hard for you to overcome without any purpose?
Honestly, Bryan, I appreciate the question. Here's the answer. It's the same thing it's always been. It's me. I'm my greatest asset, my greatest enemy. It really is. It sounds like a very cliche answer, but I've got to keep doing the same things I do even when we're very successful. And it's executing the same actions. The fact is real estate was here long before I got to the planet. It's going to be here long after I'm gone from the planet. So the great thing I know is it's here and it's not going anywhere. So my product is not going anywhere. The only thing that's fluid and in motion is me. And that's it. So like, as long as I keep showing up, John Smith, my college wrestling coach, won 2 Olympic gold medals, 6 world titles. He always said to me, always, if you just show up, you'll beat 90% of your competition. Just show up. Well, this is a career. Wrestling ends after a while. You're too injured or whatever to go. But I'm just going to keep showing up until the day I damn near drop dead, I think. So that's it. I just got to keep doing what I do. I got to keep trying to bring people on. I have the greatest employees. I really do. Every business owner probably says that my core group of people, they're incredible. They're if I could go through my executives, and not even my executives, if I name one, then I feel guilty that I'm not naming 2 or 3 or 4 more, whatever. But I'm not kidding you. We have such a large group with an all hands on deck mentality. Here, I can go to my vice president, I can go to my CEO and my COO right now. I'm not joking with you. We're putting mulch out. I could literally say, hey, we got to go put the mulch out. The landscape guy's not coming. I'm not joking with you. They would literally get up from their chair and say, okay, let's go. I can go to my underwriters, Stephanie, or my other Jessica and Holly. I go to my underwriters and say, hey, we got to go shovel trash out back. I'm not joking with you, Bryan. I'm not kidding. They would be like, let's go. Right now, we're in between with our maintenance person on my building, and all my employees have been changing out all the garbages for the last week. I've got a new maintenance person starting in 2 weeks. So the current employees in this building, they're changing the trash every single day. They're cleaning the bathrooms with me. Yeah. Name another business where the employees are literally picking up the trash and zipping the bags and taking them to the dumpster out back. And I've told them, hey, you guys don't have to do that because I'll do it. Like I do it.
That's
But
because they believe
do
in
it
what you're
too.
doing, and they're going to go to the top with you. They know it.
Yeah. So I mean, we got a ton of people in this building. You can't believe, Bryan, you walk in this building, how many people come to you and say, hey, what can I help you with? What can I do for you? And you can tell them anything. Can I go get a plate of food? They will get it for you. Nobody's like above anything. And I have such a large group of people that are bought in on that, and it's awesome. So I mean, I wouldn't be where I am without them. That's just reality.
Yeah. And I think where you are is the perfect place for just about anybody that's trying to get something done in their own life as far as real estate goes. Because folks, you've got a lot of options. You know this, Ash. Like there's a mortgage person on every street corner, and they're all trying to figure out a way to earn your business and things. And folks, if you're listening to this now and you're thinking, what's the future look like for me in my home or my mortgage or whatever? I don't know where you do business with Hesh or not, but you better at least call him. You better at least let him take a look at your situation, because he's going to tell you the truth. He's going to help you out. I've got experience with that. When you're driving up Route 71, is it? And your big billboard is up there?
71, 480, yeah.
There's a reason he's staring back at you, folks, because he knows what he's doing. Hesh, how do people reach out to you and get in touch with you if they want to, and they should?
The easiest thing is my cell phone is 216-780-1103, or just Google my name. You'll pull it up. I mean, I just talk to people all the time. Like, I mean, I do mortgages, what I do for a living, but I also share my stories financially of some of the disasters I've been through to hopefully pass that on to somebody else who's, my guy Rylan asked me this morning that he was expecting to make a little more at a camp that he did and this and that. And I said, you're missing the point. Don't chase the money, little buddy. I said, go and pour your heart and soul. And right now is not the time to chase the money. So him and I this morning in the sauna, we had a 30-minute talk about don't chase the money, follow the steps. So, I mean, it's all the same stuff. And I try to give people the best advice I can.
Man, Hesh, if we could be young again, right? If we could have what we know now, and the bodies and the emotions and the passion of what these young kids have, and if we could just say, man, let me have another shot at this, because we wouldn't chase the money. We wouldn't do something. You said before the show, if I could go back 25 years and punch myself in the face, I would. I was like, yeah, but you'd have punched yourself for something else, because we're young and we're dumb and we don't know what we're doing.
Those experiences led me to where I am. Had I not almost gone bankrupt twice in my past, I probably would have done stupid things today with my money. So because of those experiences, I believe difficult times. Martin Luther King said it. The character of man is not tested during times of comfort and convenience, but times of challenge and controversy. I think that one really quick.
Nicely done.
We are molded in times like this. This is when you're tested. I told that to Rylan when he got injured. I said, this is when you're tested. You're not tested when everything's going great. You're on top of the world. You're tested when the chips are down. That's when the test is given. And this is it. And
when you're lying in your own blood and BW3, that's when you're tested. Folks, this is what he's all about. This is what Hesh is all about. I want to tell you a story. This is the story I was going to tell you. I don't think, Hesh, you've heard this story. But this is the kind of guy you want fighting for you, because no matter where you are in your process, no matter where he is in your process, he's going to give it everything he's got. And you might think, well, I'm just one person out of 100 million. He's big in it. No, Hesh is going to fight for you. So let me tell you this story without embarrassing anybody. But my son needed a home, and his first home. And I put him in touch with Hesh. Hesh, I don't know if you deal with little first-time home buyers and things, but can you help my son? He goes, I absolutely do. I love him. Let me talk to him. So Hesh talks with him, and they're working on things. And Hesh says, we're going to do this in a couple weeks. I want you to be ready. I got this is this and this. He said, I'm going on vacation. What do you mean you're going on vacation? I'm going on vacation. I don't know if I can do that during that. And you said, well, let's figure this out. So, but you got to get it done, because when I get it done for you, Colin, I'm going to get it done. Okay, so where we are, folks, this is a longer story, but where we are is 14,000 feet up on the side of a cliff. I'll put a picture on the show, on the side of a Rocky Mountain cliff with nothing to the side of us. And we're walking up literally a 3-foot wide, narrow edge at 14,000 feet. You don't slip twice, right? You slip once and you're done. And so we're really focused. We turn around a corner and we're up on top of this ledge, and he picks up his phone and starts talking on the phone while I'm just like hugging a rock going, please don't die. He's on his phone. I said, get off your phone. What are you doing? He said, Dad, I can't. Hesh called. I said, what do you mean Hesh called? He goes, he's closing my mortgage. He's working on the mortgage. He needs to talk to me. I said, tell him to call back. No, Hesh is doing it right now. I know better. I got to take this call. And we're at 14,000 feet and you're getting numbers from him closing the deal. I'm like, man, that's dedication. You might not have known where he was, but you weren't going to let him off that mountain without getting the deal done. And you got it done. And that was cool.
I certainly did not know he was on the mountaintop. That's something that I'm going to have to hear.
A picture. I didn't take a picture of him on the phone because I was scared to death. Literally, we were on the side of a mountain. And I'm like, put your damn
You almost cost my commission check there. No, Colin was amazing. Clients like your son, Colin's amazing. I mean, so you have clients that makes me look better than I am.
Well, it's just a story about how you don't give up and you don't kind of take no for an answer, and that whatever you're in, you're giving it your all. And I think that's amazing. And I'm really glad that we got a chance to talk again, Hesh. And I hope we can talk again in the future. But I want to thank you very much for your vulnerability and for sharing how hard it is. I want to thank you for giving everything you've given to have these days in your life where you can impact people like your Seacrest young man. I just thank you for everything you do every single day. And then, there's this business thing that you're killing in that too. So well done.
Bryan, I sincerely appreciate the opportunity you always give to me. You're always too kind. Tell Colin I said hello, by the way. Tell him not to refinance. The rates are too high. Don't get sucked in by the junk mail, man. Don't do it.
Good advice. Good advice. I will tell him. That's Khash Saghafi, folks. Khash, thank you so much for being our guest on Purpose Under Pressure. Welcome back and go get him. That's Khash Saghafi. He's the owner of Liberty Home Mortgage in Cleveland, Ohio, and he's our guest today on Purpose Under Pressure. Hope you enjoyed that as much as I did. This show is brought to you by Sandler by the Ruby Group. Sellers are under pressure to perform, and Sandler helps you to succeed on purpose. You're going to find all past episodes of Purpose Under Pressure at bryanmediastrategies.com/podcast and wherever you stream your favorite shows. You can also go back and see that original episode of Dash of Grit. It's hidden, but Google will find it for you. You might be able to find that too. That's probably worth checking out as well. We do the show every week. We'll see you again next time on Purpose.